Good day, Saints. When I woke up, I was reminded of the topic I used to watch last year, the humanity rising, end of climate change. I was perplexed, wondering about the connection between them. I've forgotten what's the topic of the humanity rising. I've stopped watching it because of the Kundalini spirit. If you notice the lotus symbolism in both of them. Without further ado, here are some short clips from them.
To speak and convene is a match for the times we're living in. So thank you for bringing us all together, for creating this platform for ideas, for innovation, for really the evolutionary that we need to make. I'm grateful to be part of this summit. My name is Lynn Twist, and I'm going to just say a few things. Jim has said really what needs to be said, what wants to be said, what's coming through all of us in his extraordinary eloquence. I will say that I have the great privilege of working with Indigenous people of the Amazon, and some of the great healers and teachers and elders and ceremonialists of the Amazon have said that in a deep primordial part of ourselves, many of us have been waiting for something like this to happen. Someone or something powerful and sacred enough had to intervene in order to stop the destruction of the sources of life. And the earth herself has now done that. Viruses are made by the earth. Everything comes from the earth. And now as humanity, we're forced to make the sacrifice we could not make from our own will. Painfully, that sacrifice goes beyond letting go of our own comfort and the habits that led us to an excessive consumption of goods way beyond our needs, consuming in excess for pleasure, comfort, entertainment in a way that's been so destructive, not only to the natural world, but to us as human beings and to all the companions on this planet, the living treasures of animals and plants. But the shamans and elders say that this is not a punishment. This virus is an ally. It's an announcement. It's an opening. It's a harsh and powerful ally, but it's awakening us to who we need to be, what we need to become, to reset, reimagine, re-see, reformulate, renew, revitalize, rejuvenate, and regenerate life on Earth.
Here we are today in the middle of this pandemic. And as Jim says, and as you said, Lynn, it's brought us to a new realization. And I think I was asked to talk about what can we benefit from this pandemic. We have had previous pandemics. We didn't benefit from them. I think it's this pandemic coming in the midst of climate change and species extinction that has made it so different. But why didn't we respond in the same way to the challenge of the climate crisis? Why didn't we respond in the same way to the crisis of animal extinction? Because one thing I learned in the rainforest, where first of all, I felt a tremendous spiritual connection with the great spiritual power, which gives me strength. But I also learned about the interconnection of all living things and the importance of every little species. And each one has a role to play. Each one has a part to play in this amazing tapestry of life. And as you said, Jim, we depend on the natural world. We're part of the natural world. We're not separated from it. Just because we can build cities and we seem able to barricade ourselves away from the natural world, that's not true. We depend on the natural world for food and for water and for clean air and all those other benefits that come from us being part of the natural world. One thing the chimpanzees taught me, the biggest difference between them, other animals, and us is the explosive development of this intellect. We even more, Jim, than putting people on the moon. We sent a rocket to Mars, and a little robot crawled off and has been taking photographs of the surface of the red planet. People used to think maybe there could be life there, life as we know it. Now we know that's not true. So how is it possible that this most intellectual creature is destroying its only world? And I believe it's a disconnect between the clever head, clever brain, and the human heart, love and compassion. And I
It's a moment to step back and really rethink. We set up a new world order after World War II. We're now in a different world than.
There's now a call for a true awakening because the lies and the deception are everywhere and rampant. Let's hold on to the real truth, which is Jesus. As he have said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Please choose him now. Shalom.